Kuala Lumpur. Let's give it up to Team Kazakhstan versus Cambodia.
Game number 1 here, ladies and gentlemen, of our final quarter-final series here in the open category. Only one of these two squads will be able to claim that final spot in the semi-finals. Detective nearly messing up the initial camp take, actually had to use the retreat.
Oh, coming off right now, they are pushing in straight for the invasion. Boxy, a little bit too slow there. Wavebreaker comes in, but still had to move away with a flicker. So still, time and time again, they are trying to push out to the side of Team Cambodia. But here's the thing, Cambodia also need to step down just a little bit.
Yeah, that was good aggression coming in here from Team Kazakhstan. They're well aware that they need to make things happen on the map. They cannot allow their opponents to free farm, especially with Detective picking up this Joy into the Hilda. The ideal right now for Baby Agop is to try and win lane as much as possible, or even avoid interacting with Wadu, just clear up waves so that he can be freed up to rotate onto the map. Matching the pace on Boxy and even passing through it while keeping an eye on Detective's farm route is going to be crucial for Kazakhstan.
Let's see. So far, when it comes to the early aggressions, we do feel like when it comes to Team Kazakhstan, they don't have much worry on the mid lane. Because again, we talked about how when it comes to Kimi, we'll be able to actually clear the wave as easily as possible. But let's see how much of the pressure they want to actually pull in. Right now, moving on for the bottom lane as Des somehow will be able to actually just hold out the positioning because all the invasion that was done by Foxy is denied countless times.
Movements right now are still pretty standard.
Oh, comes in for the dive, completely getting the first blood right there by Des, but RWM, not gonna do anything though. But this is going to be a turtle for in the hands of Team Cambodia. Would allow it, but no, it seems that they will be going for a fight. Gas Wadu by Des immediately, but at the same time, Electrifying Beast has been pushed. Right now, Detective takes down Des for the retreat, but at the same time, pushing on, he will be also traded up by Baby Agop.
That is definitely still going to be a W though for Team Kazakhstan. Beautiful rotations right there. Making use of the Martis' level 4 spike to instantly rotate mid, pick off the Cho, and then they have the numbers advantage. Even able to get an extra decimate in onto Wadu means that the Martis is already in a good state. And despite having their jungler picked off, Tashtik was still able to land the last hit on the turtle. So Team Kazakhstan coming out on top in general there is excellent, considering that they are trying to play double marksman. As long as they keep themselves in a good position gold-wise the next couple of minutes, this game will look very good for them.
Again, damage-wise definitely will be in the hands of Kazakhstan, and that's what they have right now for their own opportunity. Upper hand so far for Team Kazakhstan, great respawn-wise, especially the fact that, again, from time and time again, no matter how much Boxy or even Wadu will try to actually do a little bit of engagement, they will deny it immediately. And even Des right now, getting invasive, a little bit sealing the buff for their side. Somehow the team of Kazakhstan, they are not gonna actually allow any of the invasion. But coming through right now, Tsunami Slap comes in for the break. Two players will be able to be surviving it out, but at the same time, Agop takes down OP immediately. Electrifying Beast comes through. Will he be able to take down Detective? Unfortunately, was sacrificed to the side of Des.
An uncharacteristic mistake coming in there from Detective. Oppie, there was really no way of him getting out of that. There is no Purify on this Eve, so you get grabbed, you are basically dead. But Detective deciding to jump back in with Electrifying Beats 1v4 is way too much to ask for. Joy does require that at least second, third item power spike to actually do sufficient DPS. Now Team Kazakhstan is reaping the rewards. A near 2,000 gold lead at the 4th minute.
Again, all the aggression, the early aggression that was done by Team Kazakhstan is kind of actually pushing a lot. Come through just a little bit to Baby Agop, but it's not going to do anything as this is going to be the set turtle for second. And coming out right now, pushing on RWM has already been put up by OP, but it's not going to be enough. But Zayn with the last hit, Fire Breath shuts down immediately by Kazakhstan. And now it's going to be open for them to go all out for the next turtle.
Looks like Team Kazakhstan is already making quite a splash here. And everyone who may have had doubts about Team Indonesia regarding them are redoubting themselves.
Des got the turtle, but at the same time, Wadu takes down Tashtik, but it's not going to be enough though. Wolflane just going all out with a burst damage, but is it going to be enough? Des, unfortunately, will be shut down by OP for the retreat.
Alright, that's a bit of a bite back right there from Team Cambodia. Team Kazakhstan tried a little bit too hard to position for the turtle and blitz it down without first ensuring their positions were more secure. That allowed Team Cambodia to take advantage of the chaos and start picking them off one by one. The goal lead still in their favor though.
Oh, just drags out Zing immediately, giving Riz another kill. And this is not good. Definitely knowing for a fact that Riz is stacking up already 2-0. Team Cambodia, they cannot cause a lot more mistakes right here to make sure that Kazakhstan doesn't go at least beyond all of the economy-wise they've done here.
Yeah, honestly, I'm really liking the target prioritization right now we're seeing from Team Kazakhstan. First off, they're trying to build up some farm onto the Martis. After that, the rotation up to the gold lane instead to actually help the Granger win out a lane against a fighter, which is normally supposed to be a cheese strategy. The further behind Zing falls, the less effective double fighter side lane is going to be. And that allows Team Kazakhstan to buy a lot more space for themselves in that mid game.
And coming out with the Waves of Dragon, does manage to pull through, but Tsunami Slam comes in. RWM picked up. Wadu takes down Tashik first of all, but no follow-up comes in right now. As moving on right now, Des looking for a way out. Doesn't actually goes in for the one. But Zing on the other note will be taken out by Riz on the 1v1.
Zing needs to start playing more carefully. The previous few times was because he got ganked by 2 or 3 people, but this time that was just a straight up 1v1 win by the Granger, who is now 3-0. I'm not too sure yet if Riz has the Sky Piercer. Even if he does, probably has 1 or 2 stacks at most, but you cannot afford to be giving away more of those at this point.
Let's see. Team Kazakhstan, so far a lot of response, a lot of the answers have already been given to Cambodia, and somehow Cambodia, they're messing up just a little bit, despite they were the one who's trying to go in for the setup. But this is going to be the third Lord, goes into the mid right now, pushing on with the Wave Breaker, shows with the Tsunami Slam Tashtik, great composition with the RDR put down, but Wadu will be shut down immediately with Ozing comes through, but it seems like Team Cambodia goes back again. They are not going to push in even more further, but there's so much damage already, comes through with the Iron Bandit, does drag a little bit of the players from Kazakhstan, but they don't make it alive. And in the moment right now, they are going to pull it away. Is it going to be a little bit of backfire come through? No, they're going for the Electrify beam. Detective will be able to take down Riz.
That's really good. That's an excellent shutdown right there for Detective. Looks like they will still be able to secure the turtle on the side of Team Kazakhstan, but it was very important to keep that streak going for the Granger. With Riz now, oh, they even lose Olvin in the mid lane. See, Team Cambodia starting to strike back.
Tsunami Slam fixed up, Waves of the Dragon comes through. Cambodia just getting up straight away, taking Tashtik immediately.
Ooh, that's a big switch. Big swing right there, considering that Team Kazakhstan were basically in a dominant position up until then. And they actually started off that turtle fight quite well. Ooh, here comes the Martis.
A little bit of the engagement comes through, but does get Riz though by Zing. But oh, double kill comes through as well with OP being taken out.
One thing I can say for sure, Team Kazakhstan cannot be underestimated at this point. 41 Sky Piercer stacks now on the Granger. The earlier death actually did not phase Riz as much as many would have thought. In fact, you could argue that strategically, it might be a good thing that he got taken out at that point when his streak was at its lowest, resetting his overall gold bounty.
Let's see, so far right now, Team Kazakhstan, great rotation coming in right now with Detective. Just going to slow things down, not going to be spotted out easily, but here on now, Des comes through. Electrifying V comes in, takes down Riz first of all, but Tsunami Slam, try to actually steal away, but is it going to be enough? Tashtik, unfortunately, in the trouble in the situation, will be taken out by Wadu as well, but comes through with the trade right now with Baby Yago touchdown. Detective, RWM pulls through with Moxie, just shutting down Des.
Really good target swapping coming in here from Team Cambodia. They go in. We see that Team Kazakhstan was attempting to initiate on Wadu, but then Cambodia realized, hey, this Granger is really out of position. We can grab him. We can initiate on him. And while the rest of Team Kazakhstan was distracted by the Lapu Lapu, they then switched over to the Martis, who came through the Tri-Brush as well. Team Kazakhstan, I like the initial idea of going for that catch, but they needed to shift position the moment that their more important cores were being targeted. The fact they didn't do that is kind of a misplay, actually.
A lot of the setup that was done by Tashtik doesn't have much of the effects that is needed by Team Kazakhstan, and that is why Cambodia was able to turn things around. Now, this is going to be the first Lord dance at the moment, with the fact that Team Kazakhstan already aware of it. Tashtik is overlooking from the grass itself, and Cambodia, knowing that they can actually remove any kind of the inferiors that maybe Team Kazakhstan will try to set it up. But at the same time, going at the top right now, we do see that Riz is all alone, just 1v1 with the side of Boxy. So they might actually have the idea of what's going to be like here for the Lord Dance. Coming through, just do a little bit of teasing right now to the Lord side. Wadu looking for a target. Who does he want to go in? It's going to be Des comes through first. RWM being picked up. Tsunami Slam shows a little bit of zing, but somehow doesn't manage to pull through. And now they're going to push in straight away, but doesn't manage to actually go through with all the fights that you see. I am offended comes through, but they are going to be able to take down Tashjeep first of all by OP. Now moving along with Baby Agum as well as Ovid will be shut down by Boxy and Zing. Shutting down Baby Agum and Des. That's going to be 4 life in the hands of Cambodia.
That's a double kill right there for Boxy. This is indeed another damage roam Cho being played by Team Cambodia, and you can see how comfortable they are with it. They start the fight, they take it slow, they force Team Kazakhstan back, and then Boxy shows up from the other side of the map. It took so long that Team Kazakhstan weren't able to respond to it. This is a very crucial timing for them actually. Team Cambodia is well aware that this is their most crucial power spike. This is the point of the game where they are going to be strongest, because if it takes too long afterwards, then Ulin and Riz become quite dangerous. The more of a lead they can grab by now and before the 15-minute mark, the better they will be. And if they're able to end the game before that, then they will have the clear lead.
It's the fact that they can actually see all the rotations that was done by Riz, and they know for a fact throughout that team fight itself, Riz is not there to actually give a support for the damage wise. It was not enough. Even with Des coming through, going for the setup as well with the decimation, it was still not going to be a good job for them to just get at least one of the players from Cambodia to be shut down. So that is why Team Cambodia was able to actually have a really good success for the setup. But here on out, they will be able to actually shut down little by little for this Lord matches. This is just going to be the first Lord, so it's not going to be that painful. But let's see if the team fight setup will be a little bit different. Clearing out the Lord immediately, not going to overextend too much, but at least they will try to steal this buff.
Meanwhile, in the top lane, we can see Boxy attempting something, but just basically providing information. Team Kazakhstan unfortunately did make a big blunder in the previous one. They failed to recognize that this... Ooh, nice miss there. But they failed to realize that this is the most powerful...
Oh, Detective been caught off guard right there immediately, giving an opening for Kazakhstan. And now they're pushing on. They know for a fact now all the damage dealer, a little bit will be decreased on the side of Team Cambodia. So let's see if Kazakhstan gonna make it or break it right now.
That was a bit weird there, coming in from Detective. No real reason for him to be that far up against Team Kazakhstan's base when they don't really even have enough waves pushing to cause a distraction. So that gives a little bit more breathing room over Team Kazakhstan right now. At the 13-minute mark, gold lead still about only 2.5k gold, so it's not a very big difference. And we know that Team Kazakhstan is going to be pretty strong the later the game goes with double scaling marksmen. One thing to worry about though is that Hilda and Mortis lose a little bit of functionality once we get into the later stages. So there is still some finesse that needs to happen if they're able to drag the game out that long.
Let's see. So far, Tashjeep comes in, goes in for the wave breaker. Tsunami Slam will be picked up, but OP all alone will be taken down. But right at the back line, it's going to be Riz be shut down by Detective. But Detective getting double kill to Olvin, and now it's going to be a really good composition for Cambodia.
Just straight up a massive blunder there from Team Kazakhstan, and exactly the same mistake they've been making throughout the game. Their frontliners saw a target, ran at him, and completely forgot about their squishier cores waiting in the back who are not able to catch up with them. If they were doing this in front of their base, then sure, no problem. But they are doing it in the middle of the river, and they have no map control. They are just asking for their backline to be dived.
Oh, Kazakhstan, too much of the aggression, too much of pressure to... it's a little bit of reeks of desperation coming up from Kazakhstan itself, to a point that they want to do a setup too early on that they're not really aware of the situation. But this is going to be the second Lord dance. Cambodia taking a lot of steps right here to tone down a little bit of the Kazakhstan aggression earlier on, and somehow they're feeling more confident.
Yeah, we can see that Team Cambodia is now hitting their spike. They're aware that at this point of the game, it's very easy for them to team fight. They have good sustain, good damage overall. All of their cooldowns are available, and Team Kazakhstan keeps making the mistake.
Oh, but Boxy comes in here or not. Tsunami Slam comes through, will be able to take down, but unfortunately it's going to be Des who shut down by OP. RWM be picked up, but unfortunately a little bit of mistake comes through with Boxy being shut down by Riz. So again, back to the billboard, but at the same time, that lot will be able to be taken down.
Trading Boxy there for the Martis is going to be 100% worth it for Team Cambodia all of the time. It would have been better if Boxy didn't go down, but they were able to get the Lord for free. They took out a more important target, and they actually nearly picked off Riz as well. So I think it's a perfectly fine play. It allowed him to secure that objective. Lord now going to be pushing in bot lane. Still another 10 seconds before both of the casualties from the previous fight come back online. But when they do, they're going to be pretty dangerous since Boxy has now picked up that Blade of Despair as well. Remember, this is basically a full damage Cho. So that's another hero on the opposite side that Ulin and Riz have to be afraid of.
For right now, Team Kazakhstan is aware of how they need to actually make a really good setup. Going in to actually zone a little bit of Zing, but at the same time, Ardaman has already picked up Tashnik. Just barely alive there, one hit, but at the same time, right at the cost, going in, electrifying big. Detective doesn't get anyone, but it is going to be enough for Kazakhstan just to have a little bit breather for that Lord to be shut down. But here on out, it seems that Des, once more, does actually grabs 2 players, but backs off again to the base.
So far, we're seeing very solid defenses here from Team Kazakhstan. I do think that Team Cambodia that hold on while in trouble is going to be able to jump away. But I do think that Team Cambodia blew a few too many cooldowns before the Lord actually collided there. Uppy especially. I like the attempt to go for a kill on Tashtik, but it would have been better served to just frame the tower when the Lord collided and guarantee an inhibitor for Cambodia.
Offended comes through, trying to drag Baby Yagob. Ardabim has already been picked up, but Tsunami Slam trying to steal away, but unfortunately was not going to be able to do so. But comes through right now, Boxy. Tsunami Slam again, trying to steal away another one, but it's going to be untackable, still be able to survive it up, but they're going to push into Zing. Zing managed to scur away, but at the same time, everyone was with the crowd, will be able to scur and survive it out. But Tashnik once more will be able to take it out by OP, but Baby Yagob coming in for the trade with Detective as well. But Baby Yagob, too much of overextension ended up will be in the hands of Cambodia.
Still not too bad of a defense here from Team Kazakhstan, but they did not need to send the Hilda out there.
Oh, drag that with the Eye of Bandit and shuts down by Zing, and this is going to open a door for the team of Cambodia. They're pushing in. RWM has already been picked up right there. Can they actually... They go for the waves of Dragon. That is going to be Boxy. No, big shut down by Olvin, but still, Riz will be taken out by Wadu, leaving Olvin all by himself.
It's a 3v1 situation right now for Team Cambodia, but luckily for Ulin, there's no minion waves pushing just yet. So the game is not over there. But that was the result of a series of missed calls being made by Team Kazakhstan. They are not fighting with their full force, and they are constantly allowing themselves to be split apart due to over-aggressive attempts to make catches. It worked well for them in the first couple minutes of the game, but the longer the game goes, the more difficult it is, especially with the fall-off on heroes like Martis and Hilda. They need to be playing this slowly, and it's important for them to keeping themselves close so that they can actually protect their marksmen. Team Cambodia have been able to take advantage of this so far. This Lord should be free for them again with the waves pushing up. Does Team Kazakhstan still want a challenge? It
looks like they do. RWM already been put up right there. Tashtik doesn't actually get anyone with a Tsunami Slam. Now they're going to push into Riz. Riz will be able to manage to screw away Tashtik. That right now, they're going to actually defend it wisely. They're not going to allow any of their players to be taken out easily. So this is a really good defense mechanism. But here on out, Zing will be shut down by Riz immediately. And now pushing on right now to Wadu as well as OP. Baby Yagob, 2 overextension will be shut down by Detective. But at the same time, Des, unfortunately, also having a lot of struggle to be surviving. This is going to be a double kill in the hands of the side of Detective as well as another shot. Riz survives to eventually to get OP, but unfortunately it's going to be 4 players all in the hands of Team Cambodia.
Honestly, that was a really impressive show of micro mechanics from both sides, delaying the fight that long. But now Ulin once again finds himself 1v3 defending the base.
Goes into the dive. Right now, Olvin, electrifying beast comes through. Olvin will be shut down by Wadu. This is